Hi, this is BB. It's about 5 minutes after 5 in the morning. I woke up again. What I've noticed, there's been some severe spraying for just like a couple of days before Christmas, and it's still continuing. Like all the time, there's this gas in this gassy substance. Twice now, I've had two people, different people, fortunately for me, identify how staticky. Well, it's not static. This is electricity. It's just like I said one time. The handyman was here and he took the key out of the lock. And when he took it, if there was static on the key, it was discharged because he was holding the key. He felt nothing. He held out the key to me, and as soon as I touched the key, he heard and felt. I don't know if he felt it as well. That was strong enough for him to hear and see the spark. Maybe a small spark. Now, how much static can this one body hold? He was in my house. He was walking around. How come he wasn't staticky? I have a neighbor upstairs. She lives just upstairs. She's not staticky. And she was one of those yesterday. I touched the screen door. You know, it has that little black latch. It's plastic. And if you touch anywhere I touch, even close to metal, this is what happens. It's almost like I'm an active microwave. No, you put a spoon you forgot the spoon in the container and you put it in the microwave. What happens? This is like what it was happening. I'm like a walking microwave. So any kind of metal or that come into contact with it's so powerful that even plastic I would feel the electric shock with. I don't know, maybe there's something more technical to it that I'm not looking at. But I touched it and she heard it. You could hear it. Like that. The same sound that would come out of a microwave, but on a smaller scale. But loud enough for somebody else outside of me who is close to me to hear it. So, it's not just my imagination. The universe always finds a way to find balance. And it's going to find balance for me. It's going to find balance. It gives people a long time to get their shit and their act together. More longer than we would imagine. And that makes us angry. Like, what in the hell? But when the universe decides to use us, there's nothing we can do. Resistance to that is futile. That I know for sure. When he decides to, or she decides to, the universe, whatever you want to call this higher power, when they decide to use us to get a point across, we don't have a choice. Which is okay with me. Because one thing I will not do is abandon my faith. So use me all they want. That actually makes me feel special. That I'm worthy enough to be used this way. That he or she sees it worthy enough to use me this way. So I'm grateful for that. It's hurting. It's hurting my cat as well. But this life, it's just a speck on the radar. It's just a speck on the radar. Mama, listen, come. Yes, come. I don't know, maybe she's blowing some cat whistle or something and setting her off. Mama, come here. Come. Mama, come. Come. It's okay, come. Yes, sorry. But anyway, I was just looking at how this is, and I got up, and it's like I can't control my bladder sometimes. It just comes out. Anyway, I have a doctor's appointment this morning, so I'm gonna have them test my blood again to see if there's any. Test my urine to see if there's any blood in it. They might find some, and if they do still, then she's gonna. I don't know what she's gonna do. I don't know. See, the thing is, I'm limited in what I can do because I don't have the funds to do these tests and see the specialists that she would refer me to. I just don't have the funds to do it. And this is where she's getting me. The people who are behind this is where they get me. They're making sure that I don't have the funds to do these tests. So it's like toying with me in a way. It's like toying with me in a way. Doing all this stuff, but fucking with my income. How do they fuck with my income? They're hacking extensively. And to a person who works only online, well, it's easy to damage their business. It's easy to damage their livelihood. Not just damage it, but completely make it obsolete in a way. Because the only monies that I'm making right now is really from my client base who I've collected since 2015. Who've contacted me, and my website keeps a list of them. I've been sending email campaigns out to these people and been getting business. Fresh people, no. With my Google campaign, which has been about 2 weeks old now or so, I've had, I think, over 200 people have visited it, have clicked on the links. If I had 2 people contacted me out of that, that was a lot. That's unusual. 200? Not in my line of work. Not in my line of work. And this is not from experience. This is not from hearsay or just assumption. This is from actual experience of being a businesswoman online with this, but not a business similar to this, but this very, very same business. Not a model that's similar to this. The same one. Same website, same advertising. This unheard of. Unheard of. But anyway, let's look and see how that, I don't know. So they're keeping my business fucked up, so there's no real income. There's no real income. One thing I have is I overeat a lot. So maybe that's mostly where my funds are going to, buying food, I guess. I don't know. See, this is what the cat goes crazy. The next thing I'm going to look for now is that the cat will become incontinent. She had become incontinent before, and she's probably going to become incontinent again. This is one of the... Mama! She's just showing off now. Wherever he is, she's showing off. She wants to show how powerful she is. She wants to show how powerful she is. This is her. This is what she can do. She can fuck me and the cat up anytime. She's probably trying to censor what I'm saying here, so I know my place. Because she likes for women, especially, I guess, to know their place. She has the power. Her family and her boyfriend has the power. They're the only 2 people who, well, they're better than us in every way. We are here basically just to serve them in some way, whether we want to or not. We are here to, our ideas, our businesses, everything that we do is to basically, fortify and make sure that she and the boyfriend are kept in dough and kept a life, a life of comfort and ease as they want. That's the only purpose I think she thinks we're here for. Whoever else, me and whoever Me and whoever else. I've upgraded to the new mask because the one that's trying to be more comfortable, this is a bandana style one. But when I sleep with it, I find I wake up, it slips off my nose. So I don't know what the hell I'm inhaling. And I woke up and I had to go to the bathroom, stood up and basically started going on myself. I know that sounds gross, but this is just the way it is. Whatever she's doing, she's concentrating all her time and her energy on me. It's like I guess I have to consider myself very, very lucky at this point. An extremely lucky woman because I'm getting a lot of attention from her. A lot of attention. Now, they've been hacking me for a long time and they've been probably reading my heads. I don't know if she is a natural psychic as well. I am not sure. She might be a natural psychic as well. This is why I know if the FBI does go looking into her past, because they will find out, they have to go on foot, and they will find people who will corroborate what I'm saying. Even if it's just in a tiny way, to give them an idea of what this woman is really like. To give them an idea what it's like. I'm hoping that it's not going to take my dead body for that to happen. But the way how things are going now, and everybody seems to be sleepwalking everywhere you go, which I know as another thing. You ever notice every time we say something to law enforcement, when we were naive, like I'm still naive in a way, to believe I can get justice for this. It's to believe I can get justice for it. It's like everybody seems to be in sleepwalking mode. Now, what does that mean? They seem to be in sleepwalking mode. It's like they're going to sleepwalking mode. They're not just, they're not awake anymore. And they may be getting sick. They're getting sluggish. They're getting lethargic. They're sluggish, lethargic, and feelings of, like they're in a daze, basically. And they're doing everything but what they should be doing to help us. Like somehow everything else in the world take precedence over helping us. And even they at some point, it's so blatant that even they probably will start to question it. Hopefully at some point, what the fuck? What, why am I not helping this person? See, what's going to right things is too much of the same type of behavior is going to right things. It's going to tip until it tips back the other way. Enough. The word enough. And it's going to tip right back the other way. No more. Because it's all exhibiting the same behavior. They're exhibiting the same behavior. They're doing everything but. They're people, there's a lot of sicknesses, and now is a good time for people like them because they're hiding under these viruses. The corona, the COVID virus, now there's a new one, Omicron. I don't know much about it. A variant of the COVID, the SARS disease. So it's like, or the SARS virus. It's good in a way for them because they hide under the umbrella. Well, everybody has a reason why all these people are getting sick. There's a reason. There's a virus going around. Other people are getting sick. Why not them? In a massive way. So this is like a boon to people like them. It's like the universe is, in a way, is granting them a boon. But eventually, the higher power who created this great law of attraction is going to step in. The power, the great power who created this balance, this law of attraction, for us to benefit from. Because we were meant to have noble intentions. When I say noble intentions, I don't mean, become a priest or a rabbi or a pundit. I'm talking about noble intentions, respecting other people, respecting their property, and being a good person. That's a noble intention. Just not to hurt people is a noble intention to me. Mama, stop. Just not to hurt people is a noble intention. See, when she does this, I don't know what, but she can smell it too. So it is damaging her as well. I'm surprised that she's still alive. I'm just surprised that she's still alive. She's a strong cat. Very strong. Very strong. I told you one time I came last year, I went out with my friend, and when I came back, her head was bleeding. She had a cut on her head. On her head. Now, if she had a cut on her feet, it was one thing. But if she had an open area, I don't know, but on the top of her head, how can that be? No. Stop, Mama. So, I don't know. But there was a lot of things that happened to me in that motel room. This woman is very dangerous. And if the police looks for them, the police needs to treat them as such. They're dangerous people. They need to consider them as having weapons. Because what they do, this weaponry they're using against me. They need to consider them as having weapons. Don't take them lightly, because they may have weapons. If they have access to all these things, they have to have weapons too. So they have to have weapons as well. But anyway, I just wanted to say that, but I just wanted to know, it's like, what all this stuff that's happening, so much of it, like, it's like we're being reared. For how long ago was it, prior to us even knowing that we're caught in these situations with these people? And it took a while for us to even fathom, like, what the hell is going on. There was a period of, wait a minute now, what's happening here? To start figuring out gang stalking, what is that? TI, what is that? To know what the hell is happening to us. How many years or months or weeks prior to that they've been casing us out? That we've been in these constraints and restraints and we didn't know it. You know how much these people have taken from us? Where could you have been today? For how long you've been targeted by this? What could you have been doing? What could you have contributed to society? To your family, to yourself, to your community, to the world at large? Because we're too busy fighting to stay alive, fighting these invisible enemies 24 hours a day. How much are these people taking from us? These people treat us like we're cattle. We don't have any other purpose than to serve them in some way, whether we want to or not. They're using us like hostages, basically. Like human shields. These are not nice people. I mean, they chose this profession. This is their choosing. But why us? Why would they want to do that? In my case, I know the people who are behind it. Police is not after them. They're not looking for them. My family is not looking for those stamps. Nobody's looking for anything. The only reason I'm thinking about the stamps now or anything I have now is because of the situation that's been happening to me, making me rack my brain to wonder, what the heck could this be? What could be her motive? Or what could be their motive? But, I have to ask. I don't know. The heat is supposed to be on, but it feels like the air is on. This is what happens. Everything is malfunctioning in my house. Everything seems to be malfunctioning. Everything that could go wrong is going wrong. And it's like, this is making me realize one thing. It's like, if I ever come out of this, I want to do something for people who are going through shit like this and they're being ignored all the time. They're being ignored all the time. They're just being ignored, and people, these people, these bastards are just pummeling away, pummeling away, pummeling away, pummeling away at us. We don't have a voice. This is the reason why a lot of people blame law enforcement. Because they're not helping. They just ignore us. They just cast us off, write us off the fucking page. Drug use, or schizophrenia, bipolarism, or all three. Mental problems. Woo-woo, you know. You can't trust anything they say. They don't know anything anymore. So if a young child, or a teenager has been branded with mental problems, and somebody abuses them in some way, how many people get away with it? It's another way to look at things. They don't know what they're talking about. They're woo-woo, you know, they're crazy. They're making stuff up. Some do. 80%, let's say 80% make stuff up. What happened to the other 20%? They fall under the radar of the other 80. And the adults get away with it. That's how it works. The adults get away with it. But the thing is, I just don't know how long they've been doing this. But I feel like I've been reared in this country anyway, maybe in my home country too, to serve these people in some way. Not because they're voodoo doctors, or they're obia, or they're santeria, or they're black magic, or white magic, or pink magic, or blue magic. Their magic is electronics and the ability to drug someone against their will. They have the stomach to do it. They have the stomach to drug somebody against their will. Day after day after day after day, watching the person's body deteriorate in front of their very eyes, and continue to do so with no conscience whatsoever. They have that ability, and I guess that makes them special in their own eyes, and they can stand out from people like you and me, because we couldn't do that. But they can. They're a cut above us, which they can take any day of the week. Because I'm glad I don't have that ability. I'm glad I don't have that ability. But, because they're not doing it to a criminal. I'm not a criminal. You're not a criminal. They're doing this to innocent people. There are many criminals out there who can be brought to justice. Not even those criminals have more rights than we do, because they're not going to mess with them. You know why? Because they're already on the police radar. They're already, they have certain rights. So they're not going to mess with them. And they would be targeted. People would expect them to be targeted. So they're not going to mess with them. They will come messing with people like you and people like me. The ones who are not on anybody's radar. Make us look like we're drug users, make us look like we're crazy, or both. Bada boom, bada bing, there you go. Bob's your uncle. They write us off the page. But a person who's really has a record or something, they're not going to mess with them. Because if they cry wolf, people will start to investigate it. Because they would assume naturally people would target them for something mistake they've made in their past. Those are not the people they go after. They go after people like me and people like you. But anyway, I just wanted to say that. I also, I find that there's a little bit of scarring in my nose. No, I don't do drugs, but I can feel the scarring in my nose. That's another thing I'll have the doctor look at today. See, a lot of things I will tolerate, but if I die today as a result of this, I do not want to be branded a drug user. I do not want to be branded a drug user. That's one thing. The stigma, I will not take it. Not that I have much of a choice, but this will really break my heart. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not a drug user. This is one thing I have a big problem with. A big problem with.